Yo, educate and then medicate. You know what I mean? Before you recreate, but recreation is cool too. This is Damian Junior Gang Marley.
It's another one myself, SK Vibemaker, Rinse FM, Rinse TV, The Breakfast Show. And we've got a very special guest in the building. No introductions needed. Trenchtown, Jamaica.
Alright.
Damian Marley. What's happening?
Yeah, man. We're good, man.
Aye, man. It's been a very good year since we caught up last year, July.
Yes.
I mean, obviously the album Stony Hill soaked in a bit.
Yeah.
You've won another Grammy Award.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you describe like the last year since 2017?
Victory. Victory would be the word I would use to describe it. Victory, you know. Positive. Just like we said, we released an album, which I'm very proud of. You know, and like we said also that it's been some time now, so people have been able to live with the album. So I'm very interested to see the reaction to the new songs. You know, it would be the first time playing some of these songs here.
How much of a freestyle element is there to the live shows?
We kind of have a set list that we work with, like a skeleton. You know, songs that we've done over the years, we know that works, that I perform well, that I enjoy performing. You know, and then we kind of bring in new material around that body of work, basically. Yeah.
How's it back in Europe, though? I mean, you're doing a lot of shows around Europe. Europe's always happy to see you.
It's great. Yeah, it's great to be here. I mean, Europe always has a great appreciation, especially for roots reggae music. You know, in as opposed to just the more modern sounding stuff. Them always appreciate the kind of authentic, old school orthodox reggae music. Them all love it in Europe. You know what I mean? Which is a part of my catalog and a part of my family history. So it's always great to be here.
Let's not understate it, though. 3 decades in the game. 3 decades, 90s, noughties now.
Yes, but we don't want to highlight that. You know?
I mean, that's legacy, that's strength.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists that are struggling to like do 5 years, 10 years. How do you manage to keep it fresh?
If I knew the answer to that, perhaps I wouldn't have lasted so long, because it's really because of the love of music and being a fan of music and being a fan of creativity and keeping it fresh. So really, you do it by not thinking about doing it. By just being yourself, keeping the expression true and pure, and doing what you love is really what I've done, at least.
We just played Welcome to Jamrock. I mean, that is a iconic song. I mean, has it matured the way which you thought it would? Are you surprised this lived so long?
Well, that's a trick question, you know, because you know when you make music and so you make a song and it's successful and people say, "Are you surprised?" Well, no, you're not surprised because you made it with the intention for it to be successful, and you always hope that for your music. So surprise wouldn't be the word I would use. More than honored, satisfied. You feel good. You feel like your work pays off. You feel like what you're doing is being noticed and heard, and that's what you really hope for as an artist. So you can't say surprise more than you feel satisfied with that victory.
Since we last spoke, you won another Grammy, Best Reggae Album. That's got to be a great feeling.
It's cool. It's cool. You don't make music for Grammys. The greatest feeling is really when you go on a show and you sing a song and you hear the crowd singing along. That's the greatest feeling. You know, the Grammy is good. It's nice.
Are you very aware of the Afro wave, Afro swing, Afro beats movement, which is happening in Europe and in the UK?
I'm a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, what have you seen? What have you seen so far?
Well, you see that there's a lot of talent from Africa that's being exposed internationally. I mean, even in Jamaica, you have songs that are popular by African artists from Ghana and from other places, and that's really cool to see that African music is now making segue in international popular music. I'm very proud of that.
Kabaka Pyramid, yourself. I mean, it sounds like a great partnership, a great duo.
Yes, it is. It's something I'm very proud of too. I'm a fan of his music. I think he's a great lyricist, has a lot to say, very intelligent individual. You have a lot to learn from him, even myself. He's younger than I am, but even just in the experience of working on the album, the conversations that we had, I learned a lot just being around him. And I think there's a lot that you can take away from his music, more than just enjoying yourself, which you definitely will listening to his music. So I'm very proud of that project.
The song sounded like a lot of fun, Contraband in particular. And it's a very, even though the song sounds like a lot of fun, it's a bit of a serious subject and, topic that you're tackling.
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, was there a particular incident which inspired this song?
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, yes, there's a lot of incidents that would inspire a song like that. You know what I mean? And anyone who, which is a great thing to speak about here, that we're here now in England, while this is a very hot topic about the issue of the legalization of herb. You know, yeah, cannabis. You know, so yes, we as users of cannabis, it's you know, it's been a hot, well, it's of course it's a issue that's very dear to our hearts. You know what I'm saying? And with it becoming legal, one of the greatest things with that is we don't have to look over our backs and be worried about being criminalized for herb. You know what I'm saying? So that in itself is one of the great victories of the movement. Outside of that, though, perhaps the most important thing to highlight is the medical benefits of marijuana and how it can really help to better the quality of life of people who have very serious illnesses. You know what I'm saying? And this has nothing to do with getting high, feeling good, relaxing, chilling. This has to do with, you know, like I said, life-changing, threatening illnesses that marijuana has great promise in improving people's quality of life.
Because you're over here, you're taking part in a debate in Westminster in the House of Commons.
So them say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that? Are you looking forward to that?
That's what I've been told. Yeah.
I mean,
So I've been told, yeah.
I mean, you've been to the UK many times, London in particular. How likely do you think it is that we will see the legalization of cannabis?
Oh,
marijuana?
I think it's very likely. I think it's going to happen eventually, one way or the other. I think the whole world is going to happen eventually, one way or the other. I mean, if I was here a year ago, as you said earlier in an interview, and we weren't talking about that, right? So even amongst my team, we've been talking about, you know, it'll probably be a few years before the UK comes around, and it's been only a year. And as you said, I'm now invited to go and speak about cannabis in very prestigious places with very influential people. So that alone in itself, whether or not it becomes legal this year, but that alone in itself speaks to the fact that we're heading in that direction.
I read somewhere that the Shabba Ranks album, As Raw As Ever, was an album that changed your life.
That album is an album that helped to change the life of many people because it's one of the first very successful, authentic dancehall albums. A lot of the music was crossover style music, but being that it was Shabba Ranks and who he is and in Jamaican music, you know what I mean? It helped to change our culture in general, not just myself. So from that standpoint, yes.
I know you must get this question a lot, man, but just in case somebody didn't know, Damian Marley, the son of Bob Marley, now walking around with one of the most famous names ever in like humanity. How does that feel? How does that feel in 2018?
Kind of how it felt in 2017. You know, or 2008. I mean, it's a great honor.
It's always something to live up to.
It's something for all of us to live up to, do. You know, I mean, when you really talk about Bob Marley, you know, and his influence, I'm just one of very many who he has influenced, and especially if you are a reggae musician, it goes without saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's something for all of us to live up to, and it's something great for us to live up to. It's something that we should be proud of, and a great standard for us to hold ourselves to, as my father, and how he represented our culture and our music.
Tony Rebel say reggae put Jamaica on the map. Tony Rebel say, you know, reggae definitely put Jamaica on the map. What made you say that line? What did you mean? Like, clarify that line for us.
Well, with that line, it's kind of, I'm again, because of it's really the topic of the song, and kind of trying to, that song in itself is trying to really highlight what a gift reggae music is to us as Jamaicans, and it should be held in it's very precious, and should be held in very high regard, the integrity of our music. You know what I'm saying? And I was using Tony Rebel as to say, other people have the same opinion as I do, where that is concerned, that you know, why does the world over know about Jamaica? Why are they fans of Jamaica? Why would you want to visit Jamaica? You know, why is it Jamaica even something, a country you know about? Realistically, it's because of reggae music. You know what I mean? And that's the point that we're trying to make.
Surely we're not going to wait 12 years for another.
Oh, surely not.
Album,
No,
right?
no.
Are you working on a new album at the moment?
No, but I will be shortly. Once I'm finished with this tour here in Europe, that's the intention, is to go and start working on my new album.
Do you have a particular approach that you're thinking about for the next album?
No. And that's what's great about making music, is that you never know what's going to happen.
I mean, Medication is one of the big songs off the album.
Mm.
Obviously talking about marijuana, cannabis.
Yeah.
This is a funny question I'm about to ask you, but in the world, in Europe in particular, where's some of the best places that you've smoked?
Well, that's an obvious one, Amsterdam.
Apart from Amsterdam.
No, Amsterdam.
Yeah? For real. To all the smokers that can relate.
I mean, well, if you think about it, I mean, perhaps some of the herb that we'd get here in England that is really good probably comes from Amsterdam. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's legal there, so you have the real, yeah. I mean, in the world now, outside of Jamaica, California have the best herb right now in the world.
So you got Wiz Khalifa and Ty Dolla $ign on the remix, obviously with your brother. How did that remix come together?
Well, it came together, Ty, really because of Ty. He had, what happened is that he had invited me to be on his album. And therefore, because of us meeting up in the studio to work on a song for him, he returned the strength of doing a song with us. And then he's a part of that same team that Wiz is a part of. And therefore, the whole link kind of come together that way.
The World Cup is running at the moment. I hear that you're a big Argentina fan.
Yeah, the boss up on TV now.
Yeah. Where did that come from, like the love for Argentina?
Well, because growing up, Maradona was the dupes. Maradona was a Don growing up, you know what I mean? So for me, of course, Pele is a great legend, but for me, I watched him play live. So that experience of watching that magic happen live as a kid is where my love for Argentina come from. Woo! Yes, indeed, boys. Just when you cut me out, don't cut me out. Don't cut me out. Love up every time. Rinse it.